Yep.
All right, just pull this up. All right, I'd like to call the March 22nd, 2022 action meeting to order. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mrs. Macro, please.
Mr. Adams.
Here.
Dr. Anderson. Here. Mr. Caligiuri.
Here.
Ms. Chudderwitz.
Here.
Mr. Devine.
Here.
Mr. Hill.
Here.
Mr. Sokolsky.
Here.
Mrs. Stepnick. Mrs. Stepnick, are you online? Ms. Wetmore.
Present.
Student Representative Ms. Dripcho.
Here.
The board met in executive session on March 22nd, 2022 to discuss matters of litigation, safety, personnel, and real estate. I'd like to recommend approval of the following minutes as listed below. Tuesday, February 15th, 2022 discussion meeting minutes. Tuesday, February 15th, 2022 action meeting minutes. And Tuesday, March 8th, 2022 discussion meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Recognitions, I guess I can turn that over to you, Mrs. Macro.
Yes, if Mr. Lazaro would like to join us at the podium.
So it is my sincere honor to be able to present Andrew Dragonowski. He is earning the rank of Eagle Scout from Troop 111. He built a church reflection garden, and on behalf of Plum School District, we'd like to present you with this award.
Hello. So I just wanted to share what I was doing. Well, I'll start with my project, I guess. So I decided to build like a little reflection garden right behind our church for, you know, whoever wants to come up, walk their dogs, or pray, whatever. It was pretty fun. It took 2 weekends. Lots of leadership and materials went into it, a lot of time. And took about 12 hours or so of total time to build. And yeah, that's my project. Thank you.
I would also we also at the high school have had a lot of success with our clubs and activities. Mrs. Romanelli is going to be introducing members from our Science Olympiad team, Hometown Haiku, Wordmaster, Create Convention, Debate, CalcuSolve Gear, and discussing all their accolades that they've received in the past month or so. So if all those students present can come up.
Yeah. Go right in the middle. Right here. Come up front and take pictures.
Yeah, you can come right in this horseshoe right here if you want to get pictures. Over here.
Then we're going to take a picture of you taking pictures of them.
And students, if you want to kind of switch together a bit, maybe do two rows.
Like to know each other?
And then you can get you all in the picture together.
All of a sudden, you're going to get shot. Congratulations. Wait 2 years to see each other every day.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is cool.
All right, there we go.
I'll try to cover up the boy.
Everybody looks.
How long can you hold your smile?
So much. Oh, wait.
Let's keep going up.
No, I got mine right.
Oh, are you guys, okay, I'll get started. I apologize, thank you. Okay, all right, so thank you so much for having me here tonight. My name is Jenna Romanelli, and I am the gifted coordinator here at Plum Senior High School. The students behind me that are being honored today are some of the most talented, motivated, and hardworking people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Over the last 4 years, I've been fortunate enough to work with these students in various areas of enrichment. These students do not cease to amaze. They go above and beyond their often rigorous schedules to grow their experiences and knowledge. These students have participated in enrichment opportunities in the areas of law, public speaking, mathematics, the sciences, communications, politics, creative writing, engineering, computer science, fields of medicine, and fields of business, just to name a few. To go over all their accomplishments would honestly require all evening, so I'm just going to highlight a few achievements. This school year, Plum has won multiple team and individual prizes through the ESPA competitions in our consortium. ESPA is currently made up of 13 school districts in the eastern suburbs of Pittsburgh. This school year, Plum has placed top 3 in teams and individuals in all the competitions that they competed in. Plum has taken home more first place prizes than any of the other school districts. Some of our competitions we are honoring tonight are Hometown Haiku, CalcuSolve, Creative Convention, Wordmaster, and Gear. The ESPA competitions are offered throughout the school year and allow for our students to compete against and network with other schools in the Allegheny County area. I also have the honor of presenting the Science Olympiad team, sponsored by the great Dr. Bahamre. This year, the team placed 6th in their regional championship and qualified for states the 2nd year in a row, and that'll be held in April. This particular group of students being honored tonight go above and beyond while representing Plum. When we go to events, Plum is always the largest group of participants. This shows our students take advantage of these opportunities for enrichment. They not only challenge themselves, but they see the importance in bringing up the underclassmen to help prepare them to continue Plum domination. Obviously, the wins are not all that matters, but the experiences themselves. This group of students have helped to add more events and competitions in order to expand the enrichment of our program to as many students across our building and district as possible. These students do so much more than I just went over, and they are the reason that I love my job so much. On a quick personal note, the senior class and I came to the high school together, and I've known many of these students since I had them in 7th grade. As much as I will miss working with them every day, I am so excited to see where their future takes them. I am just so proud of all of these students, so thank you so much. All right, so they've been honored in so many areas. I'm going to first start by naming the students that are here. And I know it's custom for the seniors to come forth and say what their plans are, correct? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I see some that are not. Dylan Peel, come on up as our first senior.
Hello, I'm Dylan Peel, and I'm committed to Rochester Institute of Technology for mechanical engineering.
All right, Jeffrey Yan. And Jeffrey Yan came in first at CalcuSolve, and he has competed in this competition since 7th grade, right?
Pretty much.
And I mean, he had a perfect score. He's just an amazing at the CalcuSolve competition.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Yan, and I haven't committed to any college, and I'm still waiting on a few colleges to reply back for their decisions. But I plan to major in computer science in college.
Okay. Logan Kemmer. Come on up.
He's a junior.
He's a junior. Okay, Macy Barrett.
You know what you're doing there?
I know.
So well, Logan.
I'm going in order. Go ahead, Macy.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Macy Barrett. I'm committed to West Virginia University for a major in political science and a minor in law and legal studies.
Casey Kiggins.
Hi, I'm Casey Kiggins, and I'm committed to Rochester's Institute of Technology, pursuing an accelerated bachelor's and master's degree for computer security, as well as pursuing a minor in French.
Our seniors. All right, so we also have Logan in the camera. And I am going to give you guys the wrong one, so we'll do it for show. Okay, and then Mara Jodkin. Okay. There we go. I don't know if we have it. Annabelle Arendt. Jay Turner. Eric Jones. Ambrose McAndrew. Dylan Kane. Nate Beninati. Lauren Letzelter. All right. Thank you so much. That's everyone.
Yeah, I know. I know when she was still there, when she came through, she wanted to do a reach out club with me. I ran a reach out club.
Family, thank you so much for coming this evening. If you would like to stay for the meeting, you're welcome to, but if not, you're welcome to depart with us this evening. Have a great night.
Are you sure? We're kind of funny. We have great sense of humor.
Let's tell Logan what he wants to do next time. Logan better have a plan next time.
Megan, did you see one guy that was all, I taught him when he was 12. What's each one of them?
He's way clear one. I don't think you have to stay if you don't want.
Thank you. Congrats.
We forgot to acknowledge how great of a teacher Mrs. Romanelli is. I just wanted to say we forgot to acknowledge how great of a teacher Mrs. Romanelli is. She's an asset.
Hey Jenna, I do love the Plum domination too. That was pretty good.
Let's go to the next sticker on the wall.
All right, citizens' comments on agenda items.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to make comments on agenda items at this time? Mr. Caligiuri, back to you.
Thank you. President's report. I'll try to keep this brief. We've officially entered the final 9 weeks of school, and with that transition comes some changes. Of particular note is the end of the flex option for students. Parents who have questions or concerns should contact their teachers and principals for any guidance. For those students who have met the qualifications for homebound instruction since 2021, synchronous instruction will remain consistent, however. As the lead board liaison for policy, we are recommending an adjustment to the homebound instruction policy, policy 117, and previously approved policy 815.3. Tonight, with a majority vote expected, our students who have qualified for extended leaves of absences for illness or treatment will maintain a synchronous learning environment. These opportunities will be approved on a case-by-case basis using guidelines established for homebound instruction. Again, please refer your questions or concerns to your school principal or guidance counselor, and please do become familiar with the policy located on our website and app. In another endeavor that reaffirms our commitment to always having a student-centered approach, I'm very proud and honored to share the following report with my colleagues. I'd like to formally introduce the public and the school directors of the Plum Borough Foundation for Educational Enhancement, soon to be doing business as the Mustang Foundation. As several of my colleagues know, I've been working on reinstituting the foundation for the past year and a half. With the support of my colleagues and other successful education foundations across the region, the foundation was officially relaunched in August of 2021. While many of the goals and outcomes focused on providing resources to students, faculty, and employees remain very similar to those who gave so much before this iteration of the foundation, we, the Board of Trustees for the foundation, have made significant changes to ensure long-term sustainability and expanded or enhanced approaches to fundraising and fund giving. Over the next couple of months, the foundation will, if all continues to go well, provide scholarship awards along with support on initiatives related directly to Rachel's Challenge. It is possible or even likely that this board of directors may need to approve of grants issued to the district, thus the reasons for the formal introduction tonight. I would like to thank Mr. Hill, Dr. Anderson, Mrs. Wetmore, Mrs. Stepnick for lending recommendations for recruiting members and generally being a sounding board and always supportive of our tasks. A very special thanks to Mr. Devine, who actively engaged with me in many prominent and successful recruiting efforts. Likewise, my gratitudes to Drs. Highland and Walsh and Mr. Dice for their time, efforts, and expertise as I navigated this very complicated endeavor. Sometimes I feel like Forrest Gump and Lieutenant Dan when they survived the hurricane only to create Bubba Gump Shrimp. It's a household name. More detailed information will follow as our marketing committee of the foundation develops a variety of media outlets. I am available to answer questions at this time, but I'd like to limit them to 5 minutes or less so that we can stay on task with our agenda. But we can add this to future agendas for the discussion meetings. So if you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to take those, but we do want to cap it at 5 minutes. So Ms. McGriff, could you set a timer for 5 minutes?
I don't have a question, I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to, excuse me, I just want to add, no questions as well. I was pretty up to date on everything that was going through, but I think you undersold yourself on how much work you put into this because it was a lot, and I think you did an excellent job putting this together.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then you had the kindergarten task force on top of that, so you made many hats over there. So I appreciate.
I'm gray.
Appreciate the effort you put in. I'd love to meet the board if that ever comes time to do that, but I think you did a great job. I know this is something that you, even before you joined the board or something, this was a passion of yours, so congrats.
Thank you. Yes, and we will make opportunities for the board of directors to meet with the board of trustees.
Yeah.
That's a goal of ours over the next 6 months.
I'm going to add in a little bit too, because I was on the receiving end of some of those calls, a lot of those calls, and the one thing that I will say that Mr. Caligiuri has done throughout this entire process, he says it all the time, what can we do to help kids here? And sometimes the work doesn't go, it's not noticed, but I'm glad tonight that it is being noticed because you need to be recognized for the amount of time and effort that you've put into this. It's a lot of hard work. And the interesting thing is he's done the hard work, and sometimes it's hard to give up the hard work that you've done. And he has, he's basically raised this foundation. Now he's turning it over to some folks to let them do their work. You really have done a masterful job, and the work from behind the scenes, it needs to be noticed, and I'm glad, the other folks on the board are recognizing it because it deserves to be noticed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all the kind words. We'll move on, I guess. There's no superintendent's report tonight. Do we have a student representative's report?
Yes, we do.
Right.
So we're kind of catching up a little bit throughout February and then some of March. So on Sunday, February 20th, the student government hosted their first senior Sunday field trip to a Pittsburgh Penguins game. 33 seniors attended it, and 11 of which were attending their first ever Pens game. which I was not part of that. I was that's different. But we also had the Computer Science Honor Society inducted their first class of members on February 24th here in the library. Also, at the beginning of March, students and teachers in the Foreign Language Department celebrated National Foreign Language Week. The theme this year revolved around celebrating humanity through language, which all of the students participated in very happily. Activities included listening to music, watching movies, and discussing culture of their respective languages in French and Spanish. The hallway outside the classrooms feature flags from all around the world, as well as paper people, which students colored to represent the flags or traditional dress of the various countries around the world. And I can tell you that walking through that hallway that week, you just heard like music coming from all the rooms and just like different videos, and everyone wore their t-shirts on Friday that we all made, so it was very fun. Also, tickets for this year's musical are on sale. The musical is The Addams Family, with shows taking place at 7 p.m. on Thursday, March 31st, Friday, April 1st, and Saturday, April 2nd. Tickets can be purchased at the website pbsdmusical.ticketleaf.com, or so I've been told. And then also the theme for prom has been decided as Enchanted Garden, and it's scheduled for Friday, May 13th, and tickets are set to be on sale next week.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, so we're going to go through section by section and do a consent agenda. Following each vote, we'll allow the lead board liaison to present their report. If there's anything that you want to pull out line item wise and vote no on, we ask that after we conduct the initial vote that you state for the record which line item that you are voting no on or abstaining from. Any questions on that? I tried to send out an email today to get it to everybody, but it was a little later in the afternoon. All right, so.
One thing. Jen, we have the consent agenda to recommend approval of items A through L. Could you quickly just go through and put in recommend approval to accept and resolve the following items, and then just do each one so Mr. Caligiuri has he knows what he's reading. Am I making sense to you?
I didn't grab that.
So we have the agenda written as recommend approval to accept and resolve the following items A through L, and he's going to go through each individual one. So under personnel, have A through whatever you have, or it would actually be recommend approval of 1 through.
Like A lines 1 through whatever.
1 through 5.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go.
Yep, and then just be one for each.
Yeah, can you do that?
That's what you're gonna do, Mike.
Right.
One through.
We're gonna knock it all out in one punch, but it's just gonna be sectioned out at a time. I want the lead board liaisons to make the motions for this. Does that make sense? Because we've been doing a lot of consent agendas. I'm going to recommend approval to accept the following items in personnel, section A, 1 through 5, section B, items 1 through 7, item A, sections 1 through 5.
On behalf of the board, I'll make that recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. What? I'm sorry.
Michelle abstained.
Michelle abstained from all of those, I take it. Okay. Mr. Devine, do you have a report?
I do have a quick one tonight. District leaders have had ongoing meetings to assess our staffing needs for the 2022-23 school year. Our goal during the staffing process is to make sure that we are meeting the needs of our students while also making sure we are being responsible with our finances. We do this by ensuring that we are right-sized and by adhering to our administrative class size recommendations. Our teachers had been previously sent a staffing questionnaire to ascertain if they had desired a change in placement. Over the next several weeks, we'll be working to ensure that our staffing needs for our classrooms are ready for the start of the next school year. Our expectation is that we will be able to post our open positions shortly and be fully staffed for next school year as soon as possible. I would like to thank our administrative team for all of their efforts since December of 2021 when our new board joined us on our district's hiring process. Since December, we have welcomed 64 new hires with unanimous buy-in from our board and their trust in this process. Our high school social workers hosted a Donuts with Dogs. Ms. Jurgensen arranged to have 3 therapy dogs on site at the high school for an after-school event with the teachers. The event was extremely successful and will be expanded to other schools within the district and also provided to the students in the future. It was a great way to release some stress, and our staff enjoyed the event. The district continues to reach out to colleges and universities to try to secure student teachers for the fall and spring semesters. We are excited to announce that for the first time ever, we will have a speech-language pathologist interns from Collier University in the fall. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Devine. Student achievement and activities, I have a recommendation to approval to accept and resolve the following items 1 through 7 as listed below.
On behalf of the board, I'll make that recommendation.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Dr. Anderson, you have a report.
Yep. Real quick, first of all, you did a great job, and Haley did a great job of covering lots of things that were already happening. So just to quickly cover from an academics perspective, we will have a busy discussion meeting next month with Dr. Walsh and his team bringing forward curriculum recommendations in science, health and phys ed, library, and then an extra piece for ELA. So look forward to that. And again, take this time to thank Dr. Walsh and Ms. Sedlak and the larger administrative team on their continued efforts. And Mike kind of said this too, to be proactive and ahead of schedule on our planning for the upcoming school year, providing our students, families, and staff with the time they need to be prepared. So thank you to you guys for that. From an athletics perspective, as you all know, we have a new athletic director. Mr. Miller has only been here a few weeks, but is already having an impact. Our spring sports seasons have begun with teams in baseball, softball, boys and girls track and field, boys and girls lacrosse, boys tennis, and boys volleyball. Scrimmages have started. If you've been around these fields in the afternoons or evenings, there have been lots of scrimmages going on. Official games will start late next week. Mr. Miller asked for me to pass along to families his apologies for the family ID issues that happened this past spring. This spring. He's been in close communication with Family ID, and those issues have been resolved. It's just some of the uploading wasn't as quick or as efficient as it's been able to be in the past. A lot of those issues on Family ID's end, not our end. So he's working through that to make sure it doesn't happen again. And then along with launching spring sports, he's in the planning phase for a website redesign and working with Mr. Laletta in hopes to have a new Plum Athletics website up and running for the start of school year next year. And if you haven't noticed, there's been an uptick in the Plum Athletics social media page, as well as a new look to the feed. He's utilizing a software that gives it a professional branded look to his posts. If you haven't, take a peek because they look really good. And I will say because of spring sports and being up here a lot with things for my kids, he is ever present at these fields. When I was just out there now, he was walking past me and just has really been present and a part of it, which is just nice to see. So that's all.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson.
Yep.
Safe and supportive schools. Mr. Adams, do you have a report for us tonight?
I do have a report, nothing, of course, to bring forward, but do have a report here. So, school police and the high school administration held their quarterly student safety advisory committee meeting. The purpose of these is to give our high school students a voice and provide opportunities for feedback regarding safety and security at the high school. Officer Joe Locke conducted a drug and alcohol presentation to all health classes at the high school. The presentation focused on underage drinking, as well as controlled substance laws. So at Center Elementary, people may have noticed we added some rocks and boulders there. It's a security mechanism, kind of adds an aesthetic touch to it, so it kind of, two birds, one stone, many stones, I guess. So another piece here, continue to work with Plum EMS to provide building tours. This opportunity provides Plum EMS with a better understanding of each of our buildings and how to best respond to potential emergency situations. And then we conducted our yearly fire alarm checks with Chief Jim Sims at Holiday Park Center and Pivot Elementary Schools. This is done to verify the alarm company response times to required notifications and all systems worked as required. And just a final note, we did reiterate some best practices for physical security, just following some occurrences in neighboring districts which were unfortunate. So we do have a good system in place, and yeah, that's all I have. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Next, budget and finance. Recommend approval to accept and resolve the following items 1 through 3 listed below. So on behalf of the board?
On behalf of the board, can I
I'll make that recommendation.
make that recommendation? Thank you.
That's good. I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed?
I'm a no on D3.
Mr. Hill is a no on D, section 3.
I am as well.
Dr. Anderson as well. Any abstentions?
I abstain from any line in the budget that pertains to my father's paycheck.
All right, we have 7-2, so motion passes. Facilities and operations, recommend, oh, I'm sorry, do you have a report?
Oh, I just have a,
I'm just
just a
moving.
short,
I'm
just a
moving
short
and grooving.
report. That's okay, no
Sorry
worries.
about that.
I'll slow you down. I just wanted to say that we continue to work towards the 22-23 budget in preparation for the budget workshop on April 19th. And Mr. Caligiuri, with your work on the foundation as lead board liaison, I look forward to sitting on those meetings and see how the funds are being allocated. So I look forward to that as well. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Facilities and operations, recommend approval to accept and resolve the disposal of obsolete textbooks and furniture.
I recommend that approval. Make that motion.
I have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Do you have a report for us, Mr. Hill?
Nothing on facilities today, sir.
Thank you. Eastern Area Schools, Ms. Woodman, do you have a report for us today?
Nothing to report. We meet next month.
Thank you. Forbes Road CTC, Mr. Hill, do you have a report for us?
I do for that. I do want to congratulate the 2022 National Technical Honor Society. It would be, I can't see it as good anymore, Kendall Sileiska. I'm sure I pronounced it. What is it? Selesky. I was close. Advertising design, so congratulations to Kendall on that. A couple other things. The ninth grade tours are done as of next week. Mrs. Bishek, the Forbes CTC recruiter, will be focusing our attention on the elementary and middle schools visits throughout spring. A couple other things here. The Forbes Road CTC Senior Certificate Ceremony will be held on Wednesday, May 18th. And then lastly, there are many applications that have been received for next school year, but he is assuring us that there will be equitable slots available for students access across all programs for the sending districts. So they're doing really well with attendance there. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Intergovernmental, Mr. Devine, do you have a report for us tonight?
Nothing to report. We have our next quarterly meeting next month, so I'll probably have something next month for you.
Thank you. Legislative, Mr. Sokolsky, do you have a report for us tonight?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Please let me be clear, based on previous postings and concerns, that I am sharing these legislative items at each meeting and scheduling guest speakers as well in my capacity as the lead chair of the legislative committee, as appointed by President Caligiuri. I believe it is my responsibility to the board and the community, you, Plum Borough, to keep you informed of any proposals or passing of legislation that may impact our district and our community. I do not propose legislation and I do not speculate as well. Thank you. Seniors, juniors, and parents of seniors and juniors, please listen. Seniors, juniors, and guardians, FAFSA forms are out and the deadline is June 30 to get your forms in. The Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency is hosting several statewide webinars in the coming weeks. On Monday, April 13th, from 6 to 7, it will present an overview of the 2022-23 free application process. The event will guide students and families through a step-by-step process for filing. On Wednesday, April 13th, from 6 to 7, FIA will present a webinar on planning and goal setting that high school juniors should be working on to prepare for the financial and process they'll face as seniors. To register for any of these seminars, please visit the www.PHEAA.org/virtual. Recent bill is also circulating to have full-time librarians in every school. It is getting very strong support on both sides of the aisle. The PA Supreme Court has finally decided the redistricting. The map creates 2 new districts in the Pittsburgh area that will have no incumbents. There is a proposal, House Bill 13, to remove the PA property tax. It is moving forward. There are no promises. The bill could stop property taxes, but would increase personal and sales taxes. A bipartisan group of Pennsylvania senators are proposing First in Math, a free tool to use with students that excel in mathematics. It is currently being used throughout the entire state of New York. As of now, on June 30, free school meals will stop, and so will the additional reimbursements from the USDA. And just recently, Pennsylvania charter schools will now face stronger ethics and accounting standards, updates to the law including requiring charter schools to follow the same fiscal management and auditing standards as school districts, and ensuring that all students are able to access charter schools. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sokolsky. Next up is policies, and that is me as the lead board liaison. So I'm gonna, on behalf of the board, I'll recommend approval to adopt and revise the following items, 1 through 7, as listed below. So we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yes.
Yes.
2,
3.
I oppose 1G,
wait,
letter G, the draft policy of 707, use of the facilities with fee schedule.
J, section number 7. Draft policy 707?
Yes.
Okay.
On mine, it's G.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what
I was like, I was looking for G. I was looking for it.
On mine, it's G.
She's looking at the hard document.
Okay, so Ms. Tutterwitz is a no on 7, draft policy 707, use of school facilities with fee schedule. Anything else? Mr. Sokolsky, you had a no?
I also oppose 707. I think we need to look further into the feeders. Having been a coach for many years in here, I still think the YMCA should be looked at as a feeder program.
Okay, thank you.
I know on 707, we are not providing parents with opportunities to off grades and all education.
Couldn't hear her at all.
Okay, so we, items 1 through 6 are unanimous. Item 7 is 6-3. Motion passes for items 1 through 7. Equity inclusion, Ms. Wetmore, do you have a report for us this evening?
I just quickly wanted to remind everyone that you can keep up to date on what's happening with Rachel's Challenge on the district website. It's updated monthly to see what happened the month before. And I wanted to tell everyone how excited it was to see everybody's Rock the Socks photos for Down Syndrome Awareness Day yesterday. So thanks for the smiles on Facebook. And I've now dated myself.
Thank you, Mrs. Wetmore. Community engagement, outreach, and development. Mrs. Stepnick, I believe she sent me a note that she wanted to push our report to next action meeting, which is in April. And I think she did just get off the call because we're done basically voting. So, yeah, she said she would have a report for us at the April action meeting. Do we have any citizens' comments on non-agenda items? Come on. Okay.
I'll just say that I welcome spring. It's nice to have warmer weather.
I'll take it.
That might be the most beautiful comment we've had since I've been on the board. All right, upcoming public meetings, discussion meeting, Tuesday, April 5th, 2022 at 7 o'clock here in the library. Budget workshop, Tuesday, April 19th, 2022 at 6 p.m. here in the library. And then we'll have our action meeting, Tuesday, April 26th, 2022 at 7 p.m. here in the library. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I have a motion, Mr. Hill, and who's the second? Third. I have a motion and a second and a third and a fourth. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We adjourn. Thank you, everyone.